Have you ever been stunned into silence by a book you've read? And I mean, really stunned. Find out what book has done that to us. Yep, you are getting a bonus episode today. Not something we normally do, but you're getting one today. As Alice Feeney had me and Betty blowing a fucking gasket. Join us to get the lowdown on the author and which book had us dying for a shit talk today. Let's slay some books, or in this case, an author. Hello, readers. Welcome back to Betty and Bonnie, the Shit Talking Book Slayers. I'm Bonnie.
Betty.
My God. My God.
Oh my God. Guys, you are getting this bonus episode because I just finished My Husband's Wife. I know Bonnie's already read it, and I literally finished it this morning before work. Yesterday, I got a bit of the twist, and then all this morning it was like twist, and it was that chaotic that I had to stop reading and was like, I need to work this out in my head. I need to go back in my mind and figure out what just happened. So we weren't meant to film today, but I was so excited to talk about this. And I love Alice Feeney, and I know Bonnie does as well. So let's do this.
Oh my God. Because I finished the book a week ago and I was like, I did not see any of that shit coming. Not one piece.
No,
Not
no,
one
me
piece.
neither. I feel I kind of, that I think most of the book, I can't even think at what point the twist started happening. I don't know like what percent it was, but most of it was like good thriller. I'm getting the vibes. It's got some weird death date predictions in there, which I really liked. And then all of a sudden the twist, to use your words, smacks me in the face. And I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Where did that come from? It was like a fish coming out of nowhere and smacking you right in the mouth. Because it starts and she goes for a run, this chick does, and she goes home, finds the locks have been changed and that her husband is saying someone else is his wife. And so we get it from like, what's going on with her? Like the other woman's been introducing herself all around town because she's kind of reclusive and she's like, the fuck's going on? And oh my God, I was like, wow. I'm like, her husband is a real cocksucker. And then I'm like, hang on a minute, is it her? Maybe she's nuts.
Well, that's where it started going down. I was like, this girl must be crazy and she's made up this life that she's had. So it was, and like the whole story was like, there was two kind of bits. So there's like 6 months previous where we get Bird, the detective. And we have the here and now, which is what Stacey just described about the girl that comes home and her house is not her house.
Yeah, Eden Fox.
It's all set in this like amazing like house on a cliff, which I always love something really visual like that. I love that. Do you know what? When I think of books, sometimes that's what I remember most, like the settings. And it was a really fun. Yeah.
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 Good.
I couldn't believe it because it starts out with a fucking bang. You're like, what the fuck's going on? Who's this crazy lady? Or is her husband trying to gaslight her? And I'm like, which is it? And
Yeah.
I know it was already like, whoa, man, whoa. And like one of the things that I didn't really care for in this book was the multiple points of view, but you needed every single perspective to understand what the fuck was going on. Yeah, but it's just like, and every new piece of information you get, just, oh my God, I was like, it was one of those books that I had to stop reading for a minute. I was just like, the fuck am I reading?
When
what
you
is
get
this?
You literally are like, hang on, no, that kind of happened because I've just read, and then you're like, hang on, how did she write that? Yeah. How was the writing done for me to believe something that's either not true or that's not right? Or she really has this amazing way of writing that leads you down a path.
Yep.
And then you're on another fucking path, like in another country. Do you know what I mean? It's just phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. I was absolutely hooked. Like you said, the beginning, first couple of chapters, you're hooked anyway because of this bit that happens in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it really did keep me hooked. I found myself, like sometimes with books, I'm like, oh, I need to read tonight, I need to get, I need to keep up with my reading. But this one, I was reading while I was getting ready for work. I was reading in the morning, I was reading straight away after work, and I was excited to get back to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just
It was
couldn't get enough of it.
it was so good, and it was really well paced. Now, there's something about Alice Feeney books that I really enjoy is that she has this ability to, like, speed up the pace of the book, so you're, like, amped up, and then all of a sudden, she'll just pull you back slightly, and then she'll set more of a scene, and I loved that. I really, really enjoyed that, and I also liked that every single person that we got the point of view of was completely unreliable, and you didn't know how much information was real and how much they were fabricating, and I love being set on edge like that. It's one of my
Yeah,
favorite things in the fucking world.
she is.
Loved it.
I feel like she's very well known for that, like, some of her other books.
Yeah.
I don't wanna, like, I'm not gonna spoil anything. This ain't a deep dive episode, but
No, no, no.
sometimes I'm actually gonna reread this one. I don't know if we spoke about this before. I'm gonna reread that one because I remember that has a massive twist,
Yeah.
and
She's the
everything
queen
she
of it.
knows. Yeah, she's
She's
just
queen of
amazing.
twist.
I'm really excited actually as well because I haven't read Beautiful Ugly yet. I know this one's well, it's
Oh,
not an older one, but it's the one before the one that she's just done. So I'm really excited to read that one. But I'm really
that
glad I
one is
won because so many people are talking about it, and I was like, I need to do this. I actually read it on Libby. It was free on Libby. So if anyone's waiting, I didn't even have that long of a wait really. So it was really good, and I've got the other one on Kindle. But yeah, Sometimes Our Lies got a massive twist. Daisy Darker is my favourite Alice Feeney, even
is
though
it
this one
really?
and I absolutely fell in love with Daisy Darker. I remember
Really?
exactly where I was. It was October, not the year gone, the year before, and I still remember the story. Again, I still remember all the setting that it was because it was, like, out on an island, and there's bits of the book that are quite a bit horrific but have stayed with me, and I've
Right.
recommended it to everyone. Daisy Darker is good. Really, really good.
So you were talking about The Beautiful Ugly, that's probably one of my favorites of her books.
Really? Oh my god.
So fucking
No.
good. So this author, like, he needs to write, and so I think it's like his, publicist or his agent or somebody offers her remote cabin on this, like, Scottish island because his wife has gone missing and he's still, like, reeling from that, and all this shit that happens on this fucking island, dude, I'm like, "Why haven't you left yet, bro?" I was like the whole time I was like, "Nah." I had a bad feeling, like, after the first night, I'm like, "I would have already have fucking shit-tailed it out. I would have swam if I had to." Like, I don't know why he stuck around, but fuck it. But it was one of those books that had, like, that atmosphere on it too. So it kind of felt dark and sinister, but you didn't know why. And you're like, "What's gonna happen now?" And then, oh my god, the ending, I was like, "Ah, what the hell?"
She
It was
is the
so
best.
good.
I'll
Oh,
tell you what,
she's
if
good.
it's an Alice Feeney book, I'm reading it.
Yeah,
However
she's gonna
however,
be what?
I have one book that I did not like of Alice Feeney's.
Which one?
Have you had any that you don't like?
Of
The one that
hers?
I didn't like was Rock, Paper, Scissors. I was not a fan of.
Didn't mind that one. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind
No,
it.
I was do you know what? I can remember the setting of it. I can't even remember most of the story. I can barely remember it. I did
Isn't
read it a
that the
while
one
ago.
where I thought that was the one they're staying in, that house, and it's kinda, like, abandoned, but I think they, like, were
Yeah.
supposed to rent it or something?
Something like it. And it's
It was
like
just
I think a lot of her settings actually this the new one was in this sort of setting, but it was like quite remote, quite secluded, like not a lot of people there, like there's no phones, there's like nothing there. That was the only one, and I would still recommend anyone to read it because I think that's just a me thing. But in general, I would still read any Alice Feeney. Like we have spoke about this one before as well, but His and Hers, the book was brilliant. I loved the book. I wasn't as keen on the TV series, but you really liked it. So
it's good enough. It was good enough, especially as because the book wasn't, like, in the forefront of my mind. Like, when you read a book and then you watch something right after, I find that that's when you start nitpicking what's missing. You
yeah,
know what
I
I
feel
mean?
like my mum had just recently read this. I got her to read it and then forgot she didn't have Netflix either to watch it because I thought, oh, she could read it
Yeah.
and watch the series. But when
Yeah.
I spoke to her about it, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was, but there was like something either quite important or quite big that was missed out, and I can't remember what it was now. Or maybe it
I
just felt
don't
big.
remember
I
either.
remember.
No, that
I
I
read
know
it a
that
while.
there was 2 or 3 things that was missing from the book that made you understand why it all happened.
Mm.
There was linchpins that were missing, but I think they did it more for continuity and to make it more streamlined for TV. That's what Caitlin told me, is that sometimes things have to be cut because they can't make it work on big screen.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that may well have been why.
I totally get that. And I'm pretty sure I read Good Bad Girl, but I just before we've started filming, went over and read it, and I was like, I don't remember it. So maybe it's one I'll go back and read as well.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should
Have,
do that
have
too.
you read it?
I have read it. Yeah.
I think
I've done
this is a nice thing about books, though. You forget. I mean, I don't think the ones that really stay with you, you don't forget. But if you forget, you're like, cool, I get to read that again.
don't okay, I picked up a book. I got 77% into the book and I'm like, this is starting to ring a bell. And I went to Goodreads and yeah, and I only read it 8 months ago.
You do
And I'm
read a
like,
lot of books, though.
I don't that wasn't on purpose. I forgot that I had read it. And Mike's like, "You're gonna finish it now?" I'm like, "I don't remember how it fucking ended." So yeah,
If I didn't remember it to this point, why do you think I know it fucking
but
ends?
it just something started ringing a bell, and I'm like, "Oh, this kind of sounds familiar. Where did I read this before?" And I'm like, "I'll just go check Goodreads." And sure shit, I read it, and it was only last year. And I'm like, that is a short window to have forgotten pretty much everything about this fucking book. And he was like,
But you do read like 500, 600 books a year. So I think
yeah.
we can forgive you for that.
Yeah, but now I'm wondering, am I really getting like quality reading done if I'm reading this many books that are fucking etch a sketched? Like I forget after 8 months.
I reckon as long as at the time you either enjoyed it or, it's the enjoyment at the time, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah,
how many films have you rewatched
that's
because you
true.
like it? So why can't we
That's
do that
true.
with books? And the fact that you
Yeah,
forget
that's
it
true.
almost makes it better. And also, I think there's probably some books that you reread, but it's been so messed up that you almost want to go back and read it because you
Yeah,
know what's coming and you can see it coming in the writing. My husband's wife might actually be a good one because when that twist first hit me in the face, I was like, hang on a minute. I
yeah,
had to put it down because I was like, no, that's not right. And then I was thinking
yeah,
about it, I was like, so actually, if I reread it, which I wouldn't do straight away, but I think then you could read it knowing what's coming and be like, ah, and you could see the little
yeah.
thing.
You could catch the eggs. One of the
Yeah,
things that,
yes, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
yeah. Well, when I was reading it, I'm like, the story progressed, I'm like, all these people are interconnected, and you don't know until she tells you. And it didn't
Yeah.
feel like And to me, it didn't feel like it was obvious either. Like, I don't feel like I missed that.
No, like some of like when it was talking about like the grandma and stuff, and I was like, I get. It was at the time it made enough sense, but it was like, what's the significance of everything? Like, why? I think like she had the Happy Death Day thing, didn't she?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
no, there was a bit of that I wasn't sure if I fully because I don't want to spoil it, but she did get her death date, and she died on the day that this company said she would die. And then at the end, you're like, well, how did she really know? But then she does kind of tie it up a little bit with just a feeling. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It just, I could not put it down. And I had to speak to someone about it, which is why we're filming today.
But one thing I didn't understand was, the cop and the dad, like, how she didn't know it was his company when she went in there. That was the only thing that
Yeah.
didn't make sense to me, was how she didn't know, knowing what he did for a living and the name of the company, how did she not know where she was going?
It's the fact that the grandma had used it as well.
Well, that's how she ended up with the invite. She found
But
the invite.
why did the grandma have it?
Well, because she wanted to know. So she
Yeah, but isn't
applied
that
to
also
do
weird
it.
that she went to a Yeah, but isn't that also weird that she went to and it was her
Yeah.
granddaughter's
I think that was
husband?
just yeah, well, I think that was just a coincidence because she was estranged from her granddaughter, right? Like, they
Yeah.
they didn't know each other. So when she found the thing, she was like, "How the fuck did that happen?" But then I was like, "Why was she asking so many questions?" And then it made sense as to why she was asking questions. But that was the only thing I didn't understand was just the link between her and the dad, and how she didn't know it was his company when he was running it and being a CEO back when she knew him. So I'm like, this isn't making quite the like, that was
Yeah.
the only thing I couldn't piece together how that, and she's, a cop. How did you not know that?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, I do get you. I think the last I'm gonna guesstimate 'cause I don't know, but say, like, when you get the first twist and then you're reading it, maybe it's the last 30 or 20%, and when it keeps twisting, there was parts that I'm like, "This isn't gonna get explained now because I've got
No.
questions, you're not telling me the answers," and then all of a sudden it did, and then I was
Yeah.
like, "But what about this?" And then it
Yeah.
did. Like, it did explain everything, but not in a way that's like, "Oh, well, this happened because of this." Like, it wasn't, like, really obvious it naturally happened, but where I was getting so near the end, I was like, "You can't possibly explain all this to me." And then she did.
Yeah,
It
and it
turned out
there was
better than what I could have thought.
it was just that was the only plot hole I could find, and then I was like, "Well, who killed the woman?" And I'm like, "You're not gonna let me know this, are you?" And then yeah, she
And
did.
then we
And
yeah,
it
that
wasn't who I was expecting.
I was like, "Hang on a minute. Give me the answers." You know I hate a book that doesn't give me answers.
Yes.
I
I
don't know if
hate
we
ambiguous endings.
yeah, we're not gonna talk about this book, but that bloody Marcus Cluer one, that really irritated me, that fucking book. I don't think we actually spoke about it on here, and I'm not gonna this is an Alice Feeney appreciation pod. I'm not talking about it, but that is the kind of thing I'm talking about. I do not like a book that ends like that where I don't have my answers. And
Because you
Alice
have to come up with it yourself. The whole point is what feeling did you get by the end of that book, and that is how he's touting it.
no, I need someone to tell me the answer.
Lay this shit out, bro. But that was one of the things that people complained about in his first book, because that's the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we used to live here or something.
Yeah, we used to live here. Because
Mm,
that's one of the things that I really enjoyed was I hate ambiguous endings, but I kind of enjoyed the fact that whatever you believe is right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can
So I
we
kinda
just
like that.
I don't feel like we did speak about this. Reminds me if we did. I know who you are. I don't know if I messaged you or whether we spoke about this on the pod. So this is another Alice Feeney book. Can you remember
No.
this one?
I haven't read
Um,
it.
you haven't read it?
No.
Fucking read it.
Yeah?
Read it. Oh my god. I need to get
Yeah,
up the
this was my very first taste of her books was His and Hers. I don't think I've read any of her earlier stuff.
You've done Daisy Darker though, have you? Yeah.
Yeah, Daisy Dark was 2022. Yeah, I think yeah, it was, my very first book with for her was His and Hers, and then I did Daisy Dark, Rock, Paper, Scissors was after that, even though they would yeah, I haven't done I Know Who You Are, and I haven't done the one you just mentioned.
So
Yeah.
I know who you are. I'm gonna try. I'm not very good at this, especially not if I'm not prepared. But it's about an actress. Her name's Amy Sinclair, and
Mhm.
her husband goes missing. So it's all about. So the main story is like her husband's missing. They're trying to find out what happened, and obviously a lot of it's linking back to her, even though we don't know what's happened. But then it also goes back to her childhood, which is a pretty fucked up childhood. I think if I'm right, I think she got, like, abducted as a child, but to a family who wanted a child. So she was very young, and then all of a sudden, she had to call these people, like, mum and dad, and then it's the way that she grew up with them, which then made her become an actress, and then other
Oh.
characters come out of different parts of her life, and the ending will make you go, "Oh," as in, like, "Ew." Oh, oh, like, and you won't see it coming. Even by me saying that, you will not you will not know what's happened. And it is again, it's a really good, like, at the end twist. But even though the whole book is good as it is, the end makes you go, "Did I just fucking read that?" Are you okay, Alice Feeney? Because that was fucked up. So definitely read that one. Put that on your TBR because it
I
was
will. I want my plan was to make sure that I had read all of her books, and I think there's only the 2 that I haven't read, so it's really not that bad. It's just I'm so used to getting arcs of her books. Like, every time one comes out, the publisher gives it to me, so I think it's, like, her earlier stuff, obviously, that was before I was doing all of this stuff, but, yeah, I think I need to because I very rarely get that stumped. Like, I had no idea about any of it. I didn't see any of it coming. I didn't see and I'm normally pretty good at pulling at least a couple of the threads in a twisty thriller. But she
Yeah.
literally had me so wrong-footed that every time I thought I knew what the fuck was going on, I was wrong. I was
Oh,
so
yeah.
wrong.
And you know what? Sometimes I don't even think, like with some books, kind of on like I wouldn't say like one dimensional, but it's kind of like one level, and you're like, I can see where this is going. It's either that
Yeah,
person or that person. Her
yeah,
books, I think, are quite open to that. I'm not even kind of guessing half the time because I'm just so interested in the book. My mind's not wandering, going, oh, is it this? But like, you're just
yeah,
enthralled in the book.
yeah. Well, she has this really like you said when she's, like, explaining the backdrop of, like, where her books are set, and I think that you spend so much time locked into what's happening that you don't have time either to, like, be making
Yeah.
your own theories. Like, I was trying to figure out why why the husband was doing what he was doing, and, no, that was so not it.
Oh, yeah,
So
no.
not it. And the why she did it, oh my god, oh my god!
Such a mind fuck.
You know, I was like
Like,
and I was like,
stop, take a breather, and back to how you've not caught on to any of this or
"Fuck,
how this
not
has
one lick,
happened. It's
not one
just,
lick."
yeah, it was great.
I
What
was
did you
blown
don't
away.
think you rated it yet? Because I don't think you've reviewed it yet. Do you
I
wanna come?
haven't reviewed it yet. I am so far behind with my reviewing that it's probably number 20 to be reviewed. Like, that's
Yeah.
how far behind I am, and I try and post, like, several a day, and I'm still behind. So
I've
fucking behind.
five-starred it, but I think it would have been like a 4.5 plus. Because I think there
Yes.
were some bits that was like not convenient. There's sort of a lot of coincidences, but then it all ties together. But life is full of coincidences, so I don't think that's a bad thing. But
No.
I'm in a point between 4 and 5 to the point that I couldn't even. I normally read a book and rate it straight away, and that's I don't write reviews or anything. I just star it, and
Star it.
I was like, I'm not ready. I need to think about this more. So much has happened to me in the last week. I don't know what to do.
I know I will be giving it 4.5 stars, and it's just that little plot hole that irritated me, and that's why it won't. And the problem is because Goodreads only allows you to do 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you going to knock a half star off or add it? So I don't know yet. That's I'm
I
not
had it
there
right.
yet.
I was like, it wasn't that much of a plot hole for me. I was like, even though
No,
I
it
do think
irritated me.
if I'm dithering and I'm not sure, I'm like, we'll go lower then because otherwise it's a 5-star. But I do think it is worthy of 5 stars.
It was
And if
good.
you know,
It was one of those books that had me just like after reading John Ma's Dead in the Water. To know that a thriller came almost as close as that, like, it has to be a 5 star, but that really bothered me about the fact that she didn't see that link. That really annoyed me because 'cause I'm sorry, she's a cop, she's supposed to be the best of the fucking best, but she didn't know that? Fuck!
and then the whole ending of how it left of where they are and where they decide. I don't know. I didn't like that either.
Yeah. Yeah, but
And
I
I
think I'm
not
gonna
that I hated it, and not that I would knock it down. I just didn't like that's where the story went.
you know what?
I was
I
looking for
actually
a happier ending, I guess. Not that it wasn't happy. Well, I don't know. Is it happy? Don't know.
it was more
You get what I mean?
bittersweet
I'm
for
trying
me.
not to but I just want to tell everyone what happened.
I don't know. You know what? The ending didn't bother me, it was just that plot hole.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. No,
I don't know. I
I
will
do.
decide when I write the review is normally when I'll make my final decision, but it's definitely a 4.5. It's just whether or not I go 4 or 5 when I'm doing it. Like, as I write things out, like, I'll do things like I'll cover the plot, I'll cover the characters, I'll cover the pacing, how it made me feel, that kind of stuff, and then I'll know,
It'll
and then I'll
remind you.
know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
See, I'm just emotional. How did I feel?
yeah.
What do I think? I'm not a book reviewer in that sense. I like chatting shit about books. I'm just not a reviewer. I wonder
Well,
if she's
pub
got anything else in the works because those 2 books come out quite quickly. Or not quickly,
she
but
does 1 a
relatively
year.
quickly, I think.
She does 1 a
Yeah.
year normally. Yeah, so well, that one just came out, so she's probably already writing the next one.
I'm literally looking for her books, and I think you're right. She literally oh, 2 come out in 2024, Good Bad Girl. I feel
I
like I
think they
need
were
to go through
talking
her book.
yeah, 2027, the next book's coming out. She's got her ninth coming out. It doesn't say much more about it, yeah.
So it got a
It's an
title already.
untitled project. Nice.
Fair enough.
I think she's very consistent with the way that she publishes, so I'm
How
excited
does
for
she
that.
how does she think up all these stories? This
She's a
amazes me with
twisty, twisty
authors
girl.
though. Some books you read, you're like, how would you think that up? Like, I'm not a creative at all, which is why I'm so in awe of people that can do this.
Yeah.
And probably why I enjoy reading so much because it gets my imagination going just from their words. But yeah, where does she get this shit from? And when it's the really fucked up shit, where does that come from?
I don't know, 'cause they authors always say they draw from experience, so it's like, "What happened to you, girl?
What happened to you
Where are you
20?
drawing this from?" Like, I know some will draw from, books that they've read themselves, like, if
Mhm.
they set a pattern, so it might just be that she likes her twisty thrillers. I don't know, but she frightened me on this one because I picked up not one thread of where she was going with this story, and the whole thing, even like what with like the daughter was in the place because she had the accident, but even all that story, the way that played out,
Yeah.
I was like, "What? What?"
Yeah. Yeah, that was yeah, when it all tied together at the end, I was like, now that all makes sense.
And it did make sense, and it felt right, and it felt horribly, horribly disturbing. Disturbing. It was good though.
I
It was probably
Carter's sister, I thought she was gonna be a lot more to do with something at the end because I don't know,
right.
it kept back to her and she was I remember her having a conversation with Birdie, the detective, and at the end of it, she was like she basically told the cops she don't like her. She don't like Birdie, and she's like, "Why? What is it I do?" And I can't remember what she said, but I was like, "Oh, you've got something in here. You've got something in the game." So it was kind of a throw you off the track kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I kind of figured it was to do with her brother, and she knew that there was something between them.
mm,
Because I also didn't see that coming.
no, that was all weird.
Oh my god! Like, I'm not being funny, but every single fucking character, the more I learned, like, Birdie's probably the only one where I was kinda like, "Okay." But even her, like, you couldn't even trust the shit she was coming out with and what was happening, and, like,
No,
but at the like, I understand what was happening, but geez, even she was a little scoundrel.
she's
You
a
know what
little
I mean?
dirty little
What?
bit.
Dirty little bitch. Like, and I'd really like unreliable narrators when everyone's unreliable because you don't know who to trust, and then you're
Yeah,
like, "Ooh." When you get books with, like, one unreliable narrator, you can tell, but this time I was like, "Who's telling the truth? How
yeah,
much
same
of
with
it's
Carter
real?"
when it comes
Yeah.
out that he's married and you're like,
It's like
"What?"
and he was like, "Well, we married because we were pregnant. It was a rush thing." But the wife seems to think that their marriage is all like glowy, glowy rainbows. And I'm like, "You're
And they
just
were
a
like, "What's
scumbag,
going on
yo.
here?"
You're an asshole."
But yeah, he is a scumbag, but he did the right thing for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
Or was
but
it
then he was still playing the
reasons?
field. Like,
I don't know.
come on, commit, then commit. You know what I
But
mean?
was it just Birdie though, or is he like that? Because that village is quite small and quite tight. Not a lot of do oh no, but they did actually say in the book that like they couldn't afford to live there. And his parents had to move away because a lot of people have been doing like buying up holiday homes. So
Yeah.
maybe there are other sluts that come and see him. We don't know.
Well, she said too that the wife, right? Like, so Mary kissed him too, right? Thinking, and he thought it was the
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So he's just a slut. He's a dirty fucking slut.
Dirty dog.
Dirty dog. But yeah, the
Dirty
whole book, because I was the same way. When I was finished, and I was like, I got no one to talk to because you weren't done yet. I'm like, I
no,
got no one to talk to.
no. Well, you probably had it as a
Yeah, I had an art
early
copy. Yeah,
yeah. To be fair, considering it had come out, it's only because of Libby. So if anyone's not using Libby, contact your library, get your library card number, do Libby, because honestly, I had it really quickly, and I wouldn't have
yeah.
got to that book if it wasn't for Libby.
Well,
So,
our
yeah.
Libby, it's months wait, months, 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 months. So I'm glad that I had an art copy because
That was
fuck the
literally
wait.
less than a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, you get
I've got a
your
couple
lo
of books, like the House on the Cerulean Sea, I think that was about a 6-week wait, that should be coming up soon. I know it's
on.
not like my friend at work's reading it and she's like, "Hmm, I'm struggling," but she's like, "I don't know if it's because 'cause I'm distracted or if it's not like a thriller, like fast-paced, like what's
It's
happening." A
it's
different type
cozy
of book. It's not really
fantasy.
it's
Are
not
you
a
did
thriller.
you are you audiobooking it?
I am.
Yeah, it's a beautiful audiobook. It's so beautiful, but it's a cozy fantasy. Cozy
Yeah.
fantasy.
Oh, I'm excited to listen to it. I like stepping out of my own genre sometimes. It's nice. I think you do have to mix it up. It can get a bit too much if you're just constantly thrillers.
It
You
makes you
know,
wonder
I've
if you keep reading thrillers, will you end up maybe getting a little homicidal at some point? Right? That's a lot of death. A lot of
yeah, because it will just start seeming normal to me, right?
because that's
Maybe.
someone was talking about that. They were like, all that dark romance you read, maybe one day you'll start, wanting men to like choke you out. And she was like, I don't fucking think so. I don't think that's how that's going. But you never know. Like maybe you're like, oh, I wonder what it looks like to have blood dripping down my hand from a knife. There you go. I wonder if it makes people curious.
My
You know me,
God.
I'm a nightmare.
Just looking at my what I've what I've lined up to read on Libby that I'm waiting for, I've actually downloaded Sometimes I Lie, Alice Feeney to audiobook it because I know I've read it and I
Yeah.
think I will know the twist, but again, it's a book that will be nice to go back to read it, kind of knowing what's gonna happen and see if I can pick it up this time in what she's saying or whether it's still like, I still wouldn't have got it. So I think she's such a great writer that you don't see it coming.
I think that's the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the queen
Yeah,
of the twisty turnies. I love it.
exactly.
Love it.
Exactly. This has
But
been fun.
I think she's one of those authors, if you like psychological thrillers and you don't like knowing the answers right away, I think she is brilliant for that. Brilliant. And honestly, I know that you didn't much care for rock, paper, scissors. I think she's pretty consistent as far as authors go. From what I've read, I'd say she's always over a 4 star. Always. I don't think I've given her anything less than that.
I would say I'd probably read a couple of her books, and that one just wasn't as good for me. But I
Okay.
don't think that that means that anyone else wouldn't enjoy it. For me, that was just not as good as the rest.
Did you read it? Or, like, I guess you didn't audiobook that one, did you?
No, it wasn't audiobooking then, I would have read it.
Okay. Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
that might have been it too. I find that sometimes audiobooks, like, does she when she does her audiobooks, because I had an audiobook copy of this one as well, and I listened to it for a little while, but I wanted to read it. They had like all the like musical, like atmospheric tones. It's like, ooh, as she
Oh,
was
nice.
running. Yeah, it had, and you could hear her like footprint, like footfoots on the, yeah, because I listened to it to start with, but I got both. I got both. So, and you could hear her foot patters as she was running. Like, so it kind of,
Nice.
like, built this atmosphere too, which I really
I
quite enjoyed.
did. If I do Libby, I do genuinely try and audiobook everything. If I don't, I will very rarely read a book off of there. I've read one, and that's how I know I didn't really enjoy the experience.
Yeah,
Project Hail Mary, I thought I'd audiobooked it, but it wasn't, and I refused to read it because you told me the audiobook was so good. But
it's
this
so good.
one, I was so excited to read it. I was like, "I don't care, I'm gonna read it on my phone." And do you know what? It didn't detract from my experience because I
No,
was so engrossed in that book.
I
So it
love
was
that.
fun.
Yeah. I think sometimes reading a book helps. What was I reading? Oxford Blood. So I had the audiobook and I'm like, fuck, I'm never getting around to that paperback. So I did the audiobook because I got it from the publisher and I'm listening to it and I'm like, this is not a good audiobook. And in the end, I ended up going and reading it. It was a young adult thriller. And I'm like, oh, this is better. My own voice in my head was so much better than the narrator because she was like, me, how could you think I did it? My dad's a cop. And I'm like, oh, fucking God. I'm like, get out of my ears. Like,
That
fuck
was
off.
that Holly Jackson book for me. I did not like
Oh,
the
fuck. Like sometimes I
really
think speaking formats help.
100%.
And one book that I just finished called Such a Perfect Family by Nalini Singh. Oh my fucking God. You like thrillers? This one? Oh my fucking God. I was like, not what I was expecting. And I'm like, and as the story goes on, I was like, oh my God. I didn't see any of that coming either. And the guy's like dating these really old rich women. And he's just got married to like this young person. And my God, and it's all about what's happening, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I don't know where to look." So
Nice. Send me that
Fucking
one
good.
later.
Yeah, I
Listen,
will. I'll say you have to read this one. I think it
I
just
totally
came out
will.
too. My God.
Another one that we do need to make sure we read. I know we said I can't remember what we said we was going to do with this one, but clusterfuck. I keep seeing it pop up. He keeps popping up. He is really ramping up this book, and I think a lot of people are feeling it. He's doing really good with his socials. Quite enjoying him, like in the excitement of his own book. So we definitely have to do that one.
Well, we're
If
gonna
we
do that after How to Kill Men and Get Away with It, right?
That's the
So
one
it
we're gonna
probably
deep
won't
dive that
be.
one, yeah. I think he'll
Yeah, it might be
really
a while.
appreciate that. He really wants to get that out there, and from what I'm
Yeah.
seeing, it's good. So we
Yeah.
must,
I'm
and we
seeing some
will.
clicks too. We're going to. I already got it. It's on my Kindle already.
Fabulous. Yeah, me too. I've already got it. Good. Thank you for being free and jumping in with me today because this wasn't planned.
No,
We just
not
had to
even a
talk
little
about
bit.
it. I just had to. I needed it. So thank you very much, Bonnie.
I feel better now too because it was sitting right in my gut the whole time when you were like, "Do you want to do this?" I'm like, "Fuck yes, I need to." And now I feel better. I feel better. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of us bigging up Alice Feeney and her latest book, My Husband's Wife. We really enjoyed it. We don't know if you've read it yet, but if you have, let us know in the comments and we can have a little gab about it because you may need to talk about it too. You can catch us on our social medias for all of our updates. We have Instagram, Betty and Bonnie Bookslayers, Facebook, Betty and Bonnie Bookslayers, TikTok, Betty and Bonnie. We have our book merch store, Betty and Bonnie Bookslayers.square.site. You can always send us an email at Betty and Bonnie Bookslayers at gmail.com if you have a book submission you want us to do a deep dive on, podcast requests, anything like that. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, RSS, you name it. We are there.
We
YouTube.
are
Just put in.
everywhere. Come and
We are.
find us.
We even have a website at bettyandbonniebookslayers.com. And if you're feeling generous, you can always buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/bookpod.
Thank you for listening, guys. We've enjoyed it. We
Yes.
hope you have too.
Yeah. We're so grateful that you are here and you will catch us. Well, we'll be here next week, actually. So you can
Yeah,
catch us
next
next
we're going
week.
to drop as an extra bonus episode, guys. So we normally drop 2 weekly, but we couldn't wait for this one. So we hope you enjoy your bonus. We've enjoyed it.
We have totally enjoyed it. We hope that you have the reading week that you deserve, guys, and we will catch you next week.
Catch you later.